Hey guys, so I just bought a couple of these Streamlight Protac rail mount version 1s. Actually, just bought two of these. So overall, I've got kind of mixed feelings about it. All right, so what I'm finding is couple of really neat features. Okay, so number one, because it does come with two types of batteries. So you have the like the CR 123 style batteries, along with the AA style batteries. What's really cool is it can actually run on both. Of course, AA being the more common ones. So Naomi, stop. She's rubbing against the stand. So anyway, so if crap ever did hit the fan, the benefit there being obviously AA's being a lot more common, you can still run it on that. So that's really powerful feature right there. Number one, right out of the box. I'm not 100% sure how that's done actually, being that the AA's are totally different size than the other, but they include it with it. So it says multi-fuel, uses one CR123A lithium ion or one AA alkaline style battery. So both included in the package. So it's called dual fuel style. Okay, then also in there comes the mount. Okay, so what's really cool about this, so I installed it on my 300 Blackout pistol here, is that it does suck up really close to the gun. That feature specifically for me is really important, being that, of course, this is a bag gun. And so I want to have it, stick as little to things as possible. As I'm putting it in and out of the bag. So, worst case scenario, if I do ever have to use it, I want to be able to take it out nice and quick. Because that's so close to the body, it's sucked up really nice and close. It's not going to snag on anything either. Okay. Then, as far as the pressure pad goes, the pressure pad itself seems to be in decent quality. All right. So, you have two areas here. Hopefully you can see that. So you have an area where you have a constant on and off, button. The feel to that is nice and tactile, which is great. So it does feel excellent. And then of course you have the bar. Okay, so this here is like permanent on versus like temporary on, pressing anywhere on this. Does that make sense? So what's really cool is that not only do you have temporary on and permanent on, but you also have the strobe feature, and you can do that by double clicking on it, and it'll strobe for you as well. Okay, so the idea of having a photon barrier is a thing, right? So so the way that works is if you have a light behind you, in other words, if you're kind of the silhouette to them, as you're like trying to clear a room or whatever it is you're trying to do, right? This is kind of more the setup of a 300 Blackout pistol. Like this is more for like CQB stuff, close quarters combat. If you are backlit, what you want is a photon barrier. In other words, a light barrier where basically you want to use your light so they can't see you, but you can see them. Vice versa, though, that is also true, right? So if they are backlit, then you don't actually need to use the light whatsoever because you already see them, if that makes sense. So anyway, so having the strobe feature is kind of like a disorientating, thing. So it does strobe fast enough where like you can still see them clearly, but you're disorientating them, which is kind of like an offensive weapon, really, in a way. So anyway, so pressure pad seems to be in really good condition. What I do not like is how it mounts. As you can see there, I could not get this to mount to the top of my rail evenly. because of the way that the rubber mounts work. So what I'll probably end up doing, I think it's Magpul has some, but I'll probably buy a completely different mounting solution for the pressure pad itself, because it does not seem to secure very well to the rail itself. So not a huge fan of that. And even still, they're like these like cheap, rubber, thing that tend to slide around a little bit. So yeah, not a fan of that. All right, so I will probably change that out. But overall, the quality of the light itself seems to be pretty good quality. It is aluminum. Not sure if it lists. Yeah, I can't see it on there anyway. So it is aluminum, and it's a pretty high quality, pretty tough feeling. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel cheap at all either, which is great. And then you'll notice the bezel around the light itself does have a little bit of protection there too. So I'm really not worried about like damaging the light itself. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Really like the way this mounts, how close that is to the gun itself. It doesn't stick out. So also installed my BCM foregrip there. Not a fan of that, and I think part of the issue is because this is only a 7.5-inch gun, with that barrel, the rail itself literally has like a single spot, okay? And so because of the way that I'm having to mount my sling, my QD mount actually does get in the way of my hand. And so what I'm having to do is let my pinky kind of like hold off like across the bottom, and I can't really have like a solid purchase on it like so, because I can't fit my hand beyond the QD mount here for the sling. So that's a little bit frustrating. Not really sure what I think about that BCM foregrip yet. So I'll have to play around with it, go to the range with it, see how that feels. So anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think. Thanks.